esihambayo, oh indlela esihamba, oh indlela esihambayo, oh indlela esihamba, oh indlela.
Hi there, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ngiyakholwa and I am the former Chorister. What we do here is we react to choir music from Africa, Asia and other parts of the world. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you could make it. And to the still standing supporters, we thank you for your continued love and support. May we keep on going and may we keep on growing. To remain in the upper room, that is Easter season, we are still cruising nicely with the Joyous Celebration. Today we'll be reacting to Joyous Celebration and Ngiyakholwa. And the song is titled Ewe Ngiyakholwa Kuye. So without any further ado, let us sit back, relax, and let's enjoy another blessed choir show.
Ngiyakholwa kuye, ewe ngiyakholwa kuye, ewe thina siyakholwa kuye, siyakholwa kuye, ewe siyakholwa, ewe thina siyakholwa ngenyani nakomoya.
Okay, just before the choir starts again, do you now see the formats that was discussed in the previous video? Sometimes it's the instrumentalists that start. Other times it is straight to the choir itself. Sometimes it will be the soloist or the featured artist. So see how subtle this started. If you are familiar with the Christian denomination or praise and worship music from Christian bands and Christian choirs, the Western influence is that of having a slow start, but very instrumental, very percussive. Then a soloist starting the worship side. This tonality I'm used to from praise and worship, having watched and been a part of 3C. So they themselves, CRC, I think Maverick City, Rivers, multiple churches have a similar style to the musical program. They start with praise and then end with worship before getting into the meat of everything, which is the word, prayer, announcements, things of that nature. But a nice thing about this is that you hear the mood being set by the instrumentalist. Then the soloist stating the initial proclamation. And then the choir echoing its sentiment. Excuse me. It's almost like it's echoing the sentiment of the soloist.
Bisimo sifuma serafu skolo kumshalo Bagwalesha ko Bagwalesha Hallelujah Tina sikhonze twala
So, call and response. She had a question, they had an answer. She had a question, they had an answer. What's nice about it is that that moment it had a swell and the glide. So it's like Uli Dwala. It's a nice dynamic. It's a nice dynamic to put in, which gives you a break in the phrasing. So, and how it's phrased, the phrasing, everything was just long and one thing from start to finish, it's less engaging. It becomes monotonous and people then lose interest along the way. So to keep people's interests at peak, it's important to, every now and again, get creative with what phrasing you do in the middle, what you do in the beginning, what you do near the end, just to give it like a little mixed bag of surprises. But a lovely hymn. And I'm seeing that the tone and the depth of this vocalist, she would be, I think, consider her an alto, a low alto, which is beautiful because it's not every day you hear an alto soloist in certain productions. I wish you do that more often. Let everyone get a chance. So that was a modulation. Correct me if I'm wrong, music theory students, people that actually treat it as an academic subject. Do not hold back if I'm using the wrong terminology in the wrong places and I'm taking things out of context. Teach me too. Please. So, what I'm hearing here, there was a key change, which went up in major. So the major chord is the brighter one. It's the brighter one. It's the more illuminated one. Whereas minor tends to be a little more dim and darker. But still it has its purpose, and it's a haunting beauty about it. So that moment, in that moment where she was going off by herself, the prime takeaway from that is, it is her proclaiming her God. So there's nicknames, there's multiple names for God and other deities. You don't just call God by one thing. You call them by they have a lot of names and titles. For instance, just call them, you hear those like, it was referring to God as the spirit man. It was referring to God by the predatory metal, the true rock, the rock of ages. There's the other nicknames like the lily in the valley, the rose of Sharon, the great I am, Jehovah Jireh, the one who provides, Jehovah Nisi, my banner and my victory, Jehovah Shalom, my peace. This because God tries to be everything to everyone, wherever it needs to be. That's why He's the omniscience. That's why He's the omnipresence. That's why He's the all-knowing, all-present, or there's like two more, but it's all-encompassing. You can't box Him in. So that's why she's saying all these things like, who do I pray to? Who do I this? Who do you call to? But as for me, this is what I call on to. This is what I believe in. And people are there like, yes, like finding these affirmations about this God that we all believe in.
savuka naye kwaye ndiyakholwa ukuba wavuka savuka naye ndiyakholwa ukuba nathi izinto ezenziwe nguYesu nathi sizawuzenza ndiyakholwa ukuba apho thithi masihambe sizohamba kuzokwenzeka sizohamba kuzokwenzeka sizohamba kuzokwenzeka kuzokwenzeka egameni likaJesu egameni linamandla igama elingadeke lisiekelele igama eliphilayo igama elinamandla siyakholwa kuye ewe siyakho oh mawo thina siyakholwa kuye siyakholelwa kuye kungangenzeki ngoku kodwa kuzokwenzeka kwenzekile 2000 years ago nango 2024 kuzokwenzeka 2025 kuzokwenzeka 2026 kuzokwenzeka 2027 kuzokwenzeka kuzokwenzeka osakho ewe thina siyakholwa kuye siyakholwa kuye ewe siyakholwa kuye ewe thina siyakholwa kuye siyakholwa kuye ewe siyakholwa
Yeah. And see again, the Joyous is the type of, or gospel actually, as a genre, is the type of genre whereby everything is a preaching. You don't even have to be the preacher in order to preach something. You don't have to be an evangelist to evangelize. You don't have to have like silent moments with a Bible in front of you. You, in your singing, in the harmony you share with one another, as a choir together, as instruments, making the instruments sing, as a congregation, because it is imperative that with your mouth you voice your praise and you voice your worship. That's why you hear sometimes they stop the music, they stop the choir from singing. You guys have practiced the thing, you know it well, you know it thing, you know the hymn back to front, but let the people who have encountered this have their moments as well. Hence why it can be so long. That's why gospel concerts are an endurance thing. And it's for someone, it's not even for someone, it's really for anybody and everybody, you know. And different people get different things out of it. So it's truly something, especially for the African concerts. Please go to one. You get a chance to see a bunch of black people together praising and worshiping. Go there. Prepare yourself, but go there. Because it's truly a unique experience. Whether they're African and they are touring, or they are African and you're visiting Africa, or vele you umuntu wase Africa vele, and they happen to have a concert available, please go attend. It's truly something. If you haven't got the chance to go, please go. If you haven't gone in a while, come back. It's worth it. But that's just from my humble experience. Having been a part of a production team that ushers in praise and worship, as well as being on the other side as an attendee, it's unmatched. So please go. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to experience and engage with. It goes. Diabulela. Now that being said, if you enjoyed this reaction, please give it a thumbs up. If not, you can hit that other button and let me know in the comment section below who you'd like to see up next on this channel. As for myself, I wish you peace, love, and light. See ya!